Hey, this is Eb, here to talk about one of the first guitar I built. Fun story about me and guitar building is it something I never thought I wanted to do. People had asked me about it and asked about advice, and I was like, why would you want to build a guitar if, Martin, Fender, Gibson are just making, Collings, Bourgeois, or making some of the finest guitars in the world? Why would I try to just make something that was a copy of that if I can just get one? And I'd read an article or heard an interview with, it seems like it was Robbie O'Brien, who talked about living in Brazil and studying from the masters down there, these classical builders, and learning about, he talked about tap tuning tops. And I was like, you know what? There's no way I could ever learn how to do it on my own. There's no way you could learn that from a book or a video. So why would I waste my time? And because there's this concept where two people, you, the viewer, and I could build two guitars out of all the same woods on an acoustic. And when we got done, they could look exactly the same. But the sound could be tremendously different. So I could make something that looks like a D45, that sounds like a Kleenex box with strings on it. Now that would be a disaster. It's a lot of time. So I'd always said I never wanted to do it. And then one day my friend got a hold of me, and he had found a guitar kit, an LMI, Luthier's Mercantile International. He found one of their kits that they had bought for his dad and to build, and his dad had never used it, so he ended up deciding that they'd have him build it. And he got a hold of me and said, man, I don't understand all of this, because he doesn't work on guitars or anything. He's just a great player. And he said, could you help me make sense of some of this? And it has a lot to do with the grain orientation of the wood, chord, and how it's sung and that kind of stuff. So he asked for some help with that, making sure that the braces were cut the right way and so forth. And so I said, sure, I'll help you, but who knows what's going to happen. And he came over, and I helped him cut out these braces. And I can tell you that was some of the most fun I'd ever had. We were doing it, and I said, I can't believe how much I enjoy this. I didn't think I would enjoy it. Creating something new out of scrapped pieces. I've done that before with other things, but to do it for a musical instrument was just a thrill. And so I decided at that point, I said, well, if he's going to do that, and I'm going to help him through the whole process, let me get the same kit, and we'll build two at the same time. And we'll use the same material and like the learning material and all that, and we'll put us together an instrument, and I'll get to learn on two different ones. And another part of the process, I've thought there would be certain guitars that were cool. In general, I don't think it'd be too great to build guitars. Like, why would you build a Martin just like a new Martin if they're already making one? But if there's an older model they're not making anymore, and you would like to try to make one, I think that's a good use of your time. Or same for Gibson, who has 1 million models that they've made over the years that are not currently available. So for myself, I have had guitars I wanted to make, but I didn't want to make them because of what I said before. What if I made it and they sounded bad? If they sounded bad, how would I know if the design was bad or if my skills were bad or poor and lacking? So I said, let me join my friend here in building a guitar. I'll build a tried and true model. If it doesn't sound or play as good as something that you can go find at Guitar Center, I'll do it again until I get one that sounds good and plays well. And so I got the LMI kit. I can't recommend them enough, especially if you're getting started. They use the word kit. People use it who don't know anything about guitar building, use it in a negative way. Kit, all it means is they give you all the portions of wood that you would need. Instead of buying them and getting all the shipping separately and doing everything, they do not snap together. They don't just glue together. Everything's just portioned out. So if I wanted to buy a giant board to cut Honduran mahogany out first, I would need a very nice bandsaw and a planer. Like, you'd be spending thousands of dollars on tools just to cut up expensive wood. These are cut down to close to the thickness and close to the size, so that there's as little waste as possible, and they can sell as many pieces. Just like if you were at a factory, you wouldn't want to waste any wood. So that's what they do. The same thing the factories are doing. and then they send that to you, and you do all the stuff. Is what I like about LMI is they do let you switch out different tone woods. There's something I think it's called like the Kit Wizard or something like that. You click on the kit you would like, say this, a triple O or an OM, and there's a set woods that are in there, say Sitka top, a 2A Sitka top. This is I don't know what it really is, and East Indian rosewood back and sides. So you put that in there, and an ebony fingerboard, an ebony bridge. Well, once you start it, you put that in your cart, but then you can switch everything out. And so you can say, I don't want an ebony board. I want a rosewood board. I don't want an ebony bridge. I want a rosewood bridge. I don't want a rosewood back and sides. I would like a Honduran mahogany or African mahogany or whatever wood you can think of. You can switch it out, and depending on the cost difference between those, your cost goes up and down. So if you're just starting out, I recommend doing that and getting one that says, instead of AAA master grade, which seems like something you want to do for your first guitar, but why spend hundreds of dollars on a top if you don't even know if it sounds good? So I went ahead and got second grade on everything, which is what Gibson did. That's why they did Sunburst and all that, was to hide the second grade wood they were using on so many other models. So I got it from them, and instead of making it, I kind of blended the idea of this and a Gibson LG2 as far as the wood selection goes. And some of the brace shaping, but yeah, I put it together. I forget how long it took me. It took me a long time because I got it built fairly quick and put together, but then I had a lot of hard times learning about finishing on this one, and had some big mishaps on it. But I'll just show it to you. So this one I went ahead and got a second grade a red Adirondack spruce top on there. Which I think looks really good, and my favorite guitars are made out of it. I got a herringbone, since it's a Martin kind of motif overall. Herringbone on the rosette there, I always think looks classy. Just a simple single binding, again, like my base models that I like so much. And then Honduran mahogany back and sides on there. I learned this from some guys. They said if you're starting out, just do a more of a matte finish, since you don't know what's going on, how great it's going to come out. It'll hide a lot, and that's true. So that's this. Just ABS plastic and a tortoise. As I said, rosewood there, Martin style bridge, and very simple. I didn't do the end graft, any of that kind of stuff. Very simple. I did an amber spray on it. I wanted it to look like a vintage guitar. Like the ones I liked. That was my idea at the time. I left a little volute on the back of the neck. This one, they send you a rough neck, but it's just a big chunk of wood. And so you get to shape it out into the headstock design you want, and the size of a neck that you want, the size heel you want, the shape, the form, everything about it. But I think it's cut out to give you enough room to make either a dovetail or whatever. You gotta cut all that on these to get them to fit together. But what else on it? Yeah, so this is a headstock design I had come up with that I thought would look pretty on there. That little volute. I went with some classic Butterbean 18-1 stay tights there. And then on this one, I thought it'd be neat to do this little round shape to match the headstock as far as those kind of forms go. But yeah, this was a really fun exercise of getting in there and try it. There's a lot of things I'm going to be not doing that I did on this on future builds. But this is the first one. Several years ago, I was just learning. Now I'm a part of a group called Luthiers Interactive of North Texas. And I have these guys who are friends and mentors who are some of the finest builders, acoustic builders on earth. And they're friends with all the other finest builders. And they just have so much information. I've learned so much about building since then. But I'll give you a little demonstration of this one. So. Pretty overtones in it. These strings are I might have only, I don't even know if I've changed them since I originally strung it up. But here's some. It's got a lot of overhead to it, a lot of headroom, if you will. So that's this guitar. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be posting some more of the other ones that I'm building along the way, and the other ones I've finished, and the other ones I'm starting, and so forth. So if you enjoyed it, look down there and find that thumbs up and click on it and like it. That'll help more people see it. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, which is somewhere up here. I'll post it somewhere, and then it's also down by my name. If you see there, you can subscribe, and you'll see the other ones that I've built or the ones that I'm going to be building. So, and if you really enjoyed it, please go down there and hit that little arrow button. It's down there somewhere, and hit the share button, and you can send it as a direct message, text, an email, something like that, to somebody who think who could learn a lot from it. So, if you did enjoy this, thank you for watching.